Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic with me, Mangy Panda. As you remember in our last episode, we laid out the plans for our oil refinery as well as a gas power plant and set up our main field of pump jacks. And so let's check out how that came together. Here's our little train set coming down here to deliver a load of workers. As you can see, we've got the oil refinery and the gas power plant all up and running. And we're going to kick out a bunch of people over here and they're going to get to work. So this is all set up. Again, we got the oil refinery here. Right now we're running it at 300 people out of a maximum of 500, just because we want to make sure we're not consuming all of our oil right now. It's just kind of a little balancing act so that we want to make sure we've always got oil going into the gas power plant. We also have our little fire station here with a couple fire trucks to keep this area open. We got our train area set up. Truck loading over here. This is our bitumen tank. As you can see, it's full, so we have started exporting bitumen. And our fuel tank is full as well, so we have started exporting both of those already to the border. If you take a look at economy and trade and export resources, let's do this year. So we have exported 1,000,000 rubles worth of bitumen, and we just recently started exporting the fuel, so 272,000. You can see since we've got that power or that export line hooked up right here, we just constantly pump out whatever this is producing. It did take us quite a while. We've got all this built down here right now. We've got it set up to start graveling all these roads. This took quite a while to get all of this built out here, as well as we did temporarily have to take out a 2,000,000 ruble loan just because the vast amounts of steel that was required for all this piping and everything, it just got too expensive. In the meantime, we also got our farms up and running over here. As you can see, we got everything going right now. It's in June. Everything last year we were able to harvest everything. Let's pull up economy and trade again, and we want domestic production. So you can see last year crops, we brought in 15,000 tons worth of crops, but if you go back, we consumed 27,000 tons worth of crops. So we're still bringing some crops in from the border to keep Vittlesville up and running. But we were able to get everything off the fields without anything rotting. I haven't been over here and looked at it this year, so I'm not sure. Oh, the nutrient levels are just too low in those fields. We've got liquid fertilizer, we've got solid fertilizer. Oh, the tractors are out now getting all that fertilized. Okay. Yeah, we had run out of solid fertilizer, so I got a couple of garbage trucks over here in this distribution center to go to this border and pick up some fertilizer and drop it off here. It's relatively cheap, and we needed it because we don't produce enough biological waste on our own to make enough fertilizer to keep this stocked and keep a farm this size up and running. So over here, again, we still got all this up and running. The biggest issue we're running into right now is we're pretty well pushing the limits of our infrastructure here with where we're at in this town. So especially in the winter, our hospital is maxed out, and occasionally we have people waiting at the hospital. Our water system is starting to get maxed out. Our electrical substations, you take a look, he's at 225% at this one. This one's at 142%. This initial town was not necessarily built and designed to hold 10,000 people. I still haven't decided if we're going to keep this town here, if we're going to end up just remodeling it, revamping it, and getting it set up, or if we're just going to scrap the whole thing eventually. Because one of the big things is when I ran the power, you'll see I had to run these power lines all the way out here around the town, because when I placed the sports hall, I placed it hard up against the customs house, which I shouldn't have done, because I did not leave enough space to be able to run my high voltage wires this way and along the back. So I had to go down over here and around the town and back up to hook everything up here into the gas power plant. So that now we're running off the gas power plant and we're not importing much electricity. We are importing some because I ran like a small substation here just to keep the stuff running when we don't have waste to burn. Why is that full of mixed waste? That's full of mixed waste. What are you guys doing? You guys... You are... Okay, so you're supposed to load mixed waste into... No. What? Okay. What? Okay, no, you don't... Yeah, you load mixed waste and fertilizer. You unload fertilizer there. Okay, so we've got this backed up. If you haven't watched, I haven't paid attention to this one for a while. So how that's starting to back up. Alright, so what you guys need to do is you need to go to here. Load, mixed waste, storage percent, we'll say 80. And, oops, wrong button. Let's go ahead and hook that up there, like that. And then you can go here and unload mixed waste. Alright, so now they should start unloading that, so then this will all start running again, because that's almost full. Yeah, because the problem is we got a bunch of construction. Well, we don't have enough of these set up yet to let the ash dissipate, and we got a bunch of construction waste and metal scrap in there from the rail deconstruction office. When I was tearing up some rails, I didn't have... So I've got this set up over here now so that we can put the metal scrap and the construction waste from here. Should flow directly back into there. Otherwise, it just goes in here as mixed waste. Alright, so you're picking up. Now you're burning. Alright, there we go. Yeah, because we really want the mixed waste coming out of here to be completely ash. But this still is not the permanent home for this. I want to set up, or it might be the permanent home. This might be where I set everything up at, but I want to set up a full recycling center over here. So we, instead of just burning our hazardous waste, we treat it with chemicals so it's not hazardous, because this kicks out a lot of pollution. And we've got, we go down here into recycling plants. We already have a gravel recycler set up over in the construction zone area, but we can get a plastic recycling plant that pulls plastic out, steel recycling plant, or wait, no, sorry, separation plants. So we've got the general separator. This is what I want right here. So it will process 50 tons of mixed waste a day, and it will separate out 65% of the construction waste, 87% of the metal scrap, 85% of the aluminum scrap, and 60% of the plastic scrap. Whatever is left over, it kicks back out as mixed waste, and it will be all of those remaining percentages will get turned into other waste. Then we also have scrap separation right here, which this goes in and it processes mixed waste and it pulls out 98% of the metal scrap as opposed to 87. So we get more metal scrap out if we have one of these set up. Then you have the aluminum scrap separator, which pulls out 97% of the aluminum. This is not that big of an issue. We don't really have aluminum scrap, and until we get into like plane manufacturing, helicopter manufacturing, or we start tearing apart helicopters and planes and stuff like that, we just won't have aluminum scrap. So that's kind of a waste. But it is nice to set up like a metal scrap separator, because this one processes 30 tons of mixed waste. Remember, this burns 60, so we would need 2 of these. And then the general separator processes 50. So if we had basically both of these would feed out into here. And then this would feed into our incinerator. All right. Yep. Like that. So it would basically be a little setup like that. So we would, oh, we forgot our waste treatment right there. So the waste treatment plant processes 7.5 tons of hazardous waste per day. And it just kicks it, basically it removes the hazardous quantity and kicks it out at 0% hazardous. It just becomes mixed waste at that point. So this guy would actually set up kind of probably like over here next to one of these, and it could just feed directly into there. So it'd be a little setup kind of like that. We would probably put storages in between these just so they could transfer directly into them. So that way, if this gets backed up for whatever reason, these can still process, and then same thing as this processes, it'll drop into a storage, which both of these will feed off of. So we could take, since I have these mods with like the bigger dumps, you could have like a big dump here kind of thing that both of this and this would pull out of, this would dump into, and then like all of our trucks and stuff could just dump into there as well instead of the claw. The nice thing about this is it's got the rail connection, so you can load and deliver with the rails, but this won't be a place where we're loading, it'll just be unloading. So if we wanted to unload with the rails, we could just go in and grab like a cargo station and hook it up and have the train come in and dump everything there. But then that lets us take all our, then we can metal scrap and plastic scrap and everything. We can either sell them to the border, or we can do like we do here, where we're converting the little bit of metal scrap we get right now into steel. And you could take the plastic scrap you get and convert it into plastic. But all of that that's all a little ways away. Because like I said, for right now, this system is getting stressed out. We want to put steel in here. And you can see I spent the winter working on getting rid of this hill. It's going to take a while. We've got a bunch of excavators and bulldozers that are just sitting here for when I have downtime. I just work on pushing this hill back, leveling it out, so that eventually we can get our steel and everything set up here. But to run steel, we're going to need 6,000 to 8,000 people, depending on how I set it up. Plus So that's going to require basically a whole nother town. Plus, you're going to need all the people to run the town, people to run the store, people to run the hospital, police station, fire station, all that stuff. So that brings us to what is really our next project, because we can't. I'm just going to say we can't. It would be a massive undertaking to revamp all of this to be able to house basically double our population. We need to be up to about 20,000. We already have 1,000 people without flats sitting there. So that's where this project comes in. This is going to be our new town. Now, whether the people over here are politely asked by the secret police to move over here or not, I haven't decided. But this is going to be our new town. So it's all centered around this rail station. I know in the previous episode I had talked about using the metros, but I really want to get steel up and running soon, and so I want to get this in, get this built. This is going to take a long time to get set up, get built, because we're basically taking all of that and duplicating it over here. Now, I went ahead and so we've got the track builders, they're already building. We're going to start tunneling now under all the roads. So we don't have any more potential traffic jams or anything like that because a train gets stopped, because that's another issue we have over here. The whole rail system on this side of the map is going to be reworked. We're going to push the rails over. We're going to adjust everything so that we could get tunnels in. Might add in a third or a fourth line, just depending on how the traffic goes. But everything is centered around this train station, because the way it's going to be set up is basically this is all going to just be housing. Okay? And everybody's going to be able to walk to the rail station. The rail station will be able to take people over here to steel. We can bring people over here to supplement our construction area, because lots of times you see like there's nobody there. Whoops. There's nobody. And that's because the trains are getting stuck here, or this sucks up so many people right here. I mean, there's 170 in each of these. There's another 100 people there, 80 people there, 100 people there, 80 people there, and all of that. So you basically got what? So 340 right there, 440, 540, 700 people here times 3 shifts a day. So you need to have 21 people here just to run this. So 1/5 of our population just to keep this running. And right now, this is set up to be the primary spot where people go, because this is our moneymaker right here. Oil's starting to surpass that, but this is our moneymaker. And so that doesn't count the 350, 60, about 380 people we're sending down here to work in oil. And then all the people that are working at the radio station, that's 150 people. There's 45 people in this shopping center, 45 people in that shopping center, hospital, police station, kindergarten, school, all that stuff. So after all of this stuff is filled, whatever our leftover population is comes out to here. And so to be able to pull population from this new town over into here as well will really help out and keep this whole area up and running. So what we're going to do to take care of everybody's needs, so like shopping, entertainment, sports, all that stuff, we are going to run trams. So if you come in here, you see there's this road with a tram track, and it goes right over an asphalt road. So we can just upgrade whatever asphalt roads we want in here and out here to run with a tram. The downside of this is that changes your maximum speed on there to 80 kilometers an hour versus a normal asphalt road is 110. And we are starting to get vehicles, construction vehicles, trucks and stuff that can take advantage of that speed. But this allows the tram to go. Trams operate independently. They work just like buses, but they're not going to get caught in causing traffic jams for our normal traffic, all that kind of stuff. So we can install tram stops around here, and then, like, for example, this area right here might be where all of our entertainment is. So we've got culture, we've got sports, we've got alcohol, shopping, all that stuff, and we can just run tram lines into here and tram stations. If you look here for citizens, so a small tram stop that holds 150 people. The large one, 250 people. That's plenty if we have just one stopping, like right here. It can pick up 250 people. We can put another one over in here, another one over in here, over in here, so on and so forth, and just have those feeding these areas, and also where we put our hospital, where we put the fire station, police station. Oh, that's the other thing, is our prison. We're only at 23 people right now, but there for a while this was pushing, like 40 people. So it's starting to get stressed out as well. So we need to put in the big prison. So if we look here, no, that's the big prison. Because this big prison will hold 210 visitors, as opposed to the small prison that holds 45 visitors. But like I said, this is going to take a long time. We're going to have to completely redo all our infrastructure. So we're going to have, so basically to get this set up, what we need is we're going to need the large hospital. We're going to need the large fire station. We're going to need lots of little kindergartens. School, we're going to need probably a couple of the big schools. We need a higher education. We don't have a medical university yet, so we're going to throw the medical university in. Then we're going to need, nope, yeah, that was it. A big police station, the big courthouse, the big prison, secret police, possibly a city hall. Because what the city hall does is it designates this area to where you can look at, so like all the stats you can look at for like people, their health, unemployment, all that stuff, you can look specifically at this city. As of right now, we see just the whole republic put together. So we probably want that. We go into residential. We're going to want a sports dynamo, probably a sports hall, maybe even an indoor pool. I do eventually want to put a television station in. We're going to want some cinemas. We'll put in the hockey rink, which is another mod I've downloaded. Then we'll probably put in some of these bigger attractions. So like the National Museum, Museum of the Republic, the Pyramid Museum, these kind of things. This is going to start to be possibly the capital. So all of these buildings have to fit outside and be accessible to all the people living in here, because the only things going in here is kindergartens, because people will not take transportation to drop their kids off at kindergarten. They have to be able to walk to the kindergarten. So we need to make sure we have kindergartens in these little quadrants. So we would have like one here, one here, one here, one here, possibly more. We may need one in each little quadrant, just kind of like that. I don't know, we haven't figured that out yet, but just as an example, this will be kindergartens, some monuments and stuff for loyalty, and then housing, and that's it. And what we're going to use for housing is we're going to use these mods by Billman007, the KOP 85s. I like them. They're, again, it adds some variety because what most people are going to do, if they have the Ukraine DLC, this is what you're going to see. Dnipro flats, just over and over and over. And that's my city, which, I mean, don't get me wrong. Dnipro flats are great. I mean, that's 600 people in each one of those. So that's 5,500 people in this little tiny block. So you can really cram in a lot of people in a lot of space. But I want some more variety. So we use the one mod over here. So this time we're going to use a different mod. And this mod gives us, so we've got a wide 3-entrance building. We've got the narrower 2-entrance building. We've got just a single tower. So there's lots of different variety. So we can kind of mix and match around here so that it's not all just the same building over and over and over and over again. So let's clear all this out. So that's the plan for right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take probably this center block right here, and we're going to get it laid out. Road crews are working on these roads that kind of grid everything out. We've got the rail construction office that's going through. They're building all the rails coming out here to connect into our main station. And this station is this one right here. So that's what it looks like. So it's got one road in where we could have buses connect to it if we wanted to. And then it's got the 6 rails. Who's waiting? I don't know what's going on over here. Why are you? Because these guys. What? What are you? All right, reverse. Back out of there. He needs. Okay, so just go. I need to check the signaling here, because he should not have pulled that far up. All of this has to come out anyways. So like this refueling station is a problem. It needs moved to someplace where it's not going to be causing issues, because it's really too short, especially when I get some of these longer trains come in here. Here, all right. So, but let's see, what do we have for signals? Okay, so you're a chain that says, all right, so can I move you back far? No, I can't. So what if we just take you out and turn this into a mixed and a mixed and just get rid of that. That should be easier. All right, so now we shouldn't have that, whatever it was, happen again. Can I get a signal in here? No. All right. See, I got too many intersections too close. This was all just something, again, this was all meant to be temporary. The entire idea is like this rail construction office is going to move, because right now it's starting to be at the limit of what it can detect. So if we zoom out and we look at its auto detect range, so like over here, you know, like it couldn't detect this stuff here. We're starting to get at its limit, and we're going to keep expanding out this direction and probably that direction. So we need to move the rail construction office out to someplace a little bit better where it's not so tightly packed in. The main reason why have you not moved? Just ignore. Go. Go. Why are you red? Because you're waiting for him. You want to just go. The main reason the rail construction is here is because to start off with, you want it close to the border so you can get that initial connection into the border. But it doesn't need to stay here. We need to move it. I'm thinking we're probably going to move it over in this area because that way it's got direct access to this gravel. And then that's one last train that we need, one last thing we need to deliver is the gravel to there. We can just set up the rail construction office here, get direct fed with the gravel. We could hook up a proper storage for it so that a train can deliver, the steel, bricks, boards, all of that kind of stuff. Instead of right now, it's all just being trucked in because we don't have any storage connected to it. But that's a story for another day. So, like I said, so for right now, we're going to just kind of plan out this center block right here. And we're going to get this started so that we can work on some of the construction stuff and then we'll expand out. But I just want to kind of give you guys an idea of what this is going to look like and how I'm going to lay it out. And then I'll probably do the rest of this off camera and we'll come back and we'll lay in all of this. And then I'll still have to bring in all the utilities. So water, sewage, power, all that stuff. Figure out where we're going to set up the trams, that kind of thing. Because the trams will initially have to be connected to the main rail. Because that's how you bring your trams in. You have to have it connected up to the rail, and then you can drop your tram off and then let the tram go. But we'll get all that set up later. So for right now, what we want, let's go in here. All right, so let's get that guy and that guy. And that guy. And maybe that one. So we use those for right now to kind of lay this out. All right, so what we want is let's put you there. And another one there. And another one there. Okay, then where's my trash? I want to make sure we're gonna have a lot of people, so we need to really make sure we're using the bigger trash containers. All right, so then we're gonna bring a. I wish that road was done. This road, it's not done either. Well, we'll just kind of play it temporary. We're gonna, in theory, have a road there. And that will connect there. All right, so then we need footpaths. We're going to run footpath back here and one like that, and then it's going to curve around there and like that. Let's cut that back like that, and then if you're connected in there, you're in there, you're in there, and then we run who's waiting. Oh, track builder, of course. Just go. All right. Now then, are you... Okay, you're within walking distance of each of those. Perfect. Okay, then can we take this guy? Put him there. And... No, I don't want to do that wrong. I want to put... him there. Okay. Then we want to take another one of these and put it over somewhere around here. Oh, what's going on now with you guys? Why are you sitting here? You're going out. What? I have no idea what you're doing. Just go. You just go. You guys are all waiting on him. Yeah. Just go. Just go. You're fine. Okay, and you're gonna, here in a second, just go. And you're still unloading. All right, back over to here. Then you're my kindergarten. So we're going to want our kindergarten kind of centrally located about there ought to work. Oh, I don't want active construction. So let's batch. No, none of you. None of you. And none of you. All right. So kindergarten's going to be somewhere around in there. And let's take this guy. All right, let's put this road in. All right, so you're going to be there. And another one there. And one there. Like that. We'll take this guy over here. This guy will go in right there. Then if we take a footpath, we're going to want to run one. Okay, we'll just go from you to about there from you. There we go. You're going to connect there. This is also going to come out to about there. And you're going to connect down to there. And everybody, kindergarten's not within range. You're within range of that one. You're within range of that one. So all of these guys, I'll have trash services. Okay, so we got that. And then what we would probably do is road, get rid of, say, like here. And that would be where we put in our trams. Oh, not big enough. All right, let's take some more of this out. Tram stop would go in somewhere like around there. Then let's take these guys and we'll put one here, one here, and one back here. And this guy, put one here. Go in there like that. And we need our trash. Whoops. So we put one trash bin there and the other one there. These, maybe we do one here, do another one kind of back here. That one there, didn't want that footpath, but we'll deal with it for right now. One there. And another one there, then footpaths. That footpath going there, he's connected, This guy will come down to here. This guy will come over to here. This will go up to there. This will go, oh, come on, I can get through there. Come on. I'd rather have it curved, but, you know, well, that'll work. Okay. And walking distance, you're all perfectly within range. And again, we run this from here to there. Like that. And everybody's within range. So it's going to be something like this. That leaves us enough space to get all of our utilities and everything in. We can put some monuments, and it's consistent, but it's not like everything is just this building over and over and over, and then more, because that's how I can get the maximum number of people crammed into this one area. Because that's not really what I want to go for right now. Where that footpath connected in. So it'll be something like that. I'm going to tweak it to make sure we can get our power stations in, all that kind of stuff, because this is going to require a lot of power, a lot of water. So you look at like Oh, that's the other thing we forgot. Yeah, so we're going to need water treatment big. We're probably going to need at least 2, maybe 4 of these, depending on how we cram this in. Because each one of these water treatment, it does 300 cubic meters of water. So the housing we're using, where are we at? Right here. So the biggest house, it uses per day 23 cubic meters. So right here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. So 6 of those, so that's 120 cubic meters. That's almost half of what one of these produces every day. Okay, so we're at 120. Then you add in, go back here, the 2 entrants. So it uses 15. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So that's another 60. So now we're up to another 180. And then the smaller ones use, say, 10. So we're at 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 2. So this right here, that's 270 cubic meters of the 300 cubic meters that puts out. That doesn't count running any of this stuff right here, which it doesn't really use a lot, but it uses some. So that means we're going to need basically one of these for this area. Then we're going to need probably another one for maybe this area, one here. So that's 3, 4, maybe 5, and then to run all of this. So yeah, we're going to need a lot more water. We're going to need a lot more sewer. This little sewage pit that we dug over here is not going to work. So what we're probably going to do is this will be our new sewer dump. Since we actually have water that's reasonably close. That's still a good distance, but we can afford that construction project now. The nice thing about having water close is we can take, where are we at? Right there, emergencies, fire station. So we can take our, come on, our big fire station like this, and it holds 8 vehicles. What we can do there is we can go into under aircraft, parking, helicopters. See how that building lights up green? That means that this helicopter parking is now attached to that fire station. So we can park 3 helicopters here that will work with that fire station. So the helicopters will fly over here, pick up water, and bring it wherever it's needed, wherever the fire is, over here, over here, over here, and dump water on it to put out the fire. We want to do that. We want to start using helicopters, especially now that we're building or making our own fuel. Because the biggest drawback to helicopters, besides the fact that they're expensive, is that they use a lot of fuel. So if we're going to start using helicopters, we want to make sure we're producing our own fuel. So the other thing we can do with helicopters, of course, we can hook them up to the hospital, but we can come over here, we can go under construction and construction offices, and we can get a helicopter construction office that we can put in. And then we can have helicopters come over here, because we already built this in advance. They can pick up asphalt, they can pick up concrete, they can come over here, they can pick up bricks or boards, steel, prefabs, bricks, and this is even connected over to here so they can grab gravel from here. I was going to put in the 3, but it didn't fit with the factory connections, and still be able to get the road out the way I had this laid out. Because if you look, where are we at? Let's go back here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, bless me. That's not what I wanted. I wanted loading and unloading. Right back here. It just didn't want to fit in there, right? I could maybe go back in here and finagle it, but because of where the road is, where that road connection is, I couldn't get. You really need to have it set like this, and then that would block my rail access. So I'd have to. Yeah, it was just a pain. It'd block the roads or the rails, or if I put it back here, it would block the factory connections from the prefab factory or the brick factory. There just wasn't a good way to get it to go in here, which maybe the next time we design something like this, we'll work to get that in there. But in addition to that, oh yeah, because we already put the helipad in here so that our repair station can fix helicopters. As a matter of fact, let's see, are there any used helicopters? Let's check the used market. Show all. Bus covered all. No. Great. I have to buy them from here. That's right. So we've got the M10. So see how it says like fire bucket capacity. That's how much water it could carry to go put out fire. The M2, so it could help. We could use it to haul people around, workers. Or the M4, but no cargo. That's disappointing because what we want is like the see it can hold 9 tons of steel, 8 tons of prefabs or whatever. So we could have that flying around from job to job, especially some of the jobs that are way out remote, like when I was building the oil field, and have it drop off all the materials, and then we just have to get workers out there. So that, let's look back at that. We could also buy used vehicles either in rubles or dollars. So do we want, let's find something with a big 47. 47. 47 97 liters seems like the biggest fire bucket we can get. So let's go ahead and buy that guy. Yeah, well, we've already got some. Oh, I clicked off that. Which train was waiting too long? It's got to be up here. One of you guys, just go. I don't know. You're waiting on him. Who's waiting on? I don't know what. He's going that way. You're still unloading. You're going there. All right. So, like I said, that's kind of the basic idea of how we're going to lay this out. It's not just the same thing repeated over and over again, all crammed in there. It's got room. I can bring in, since we've got more time, we can plan all this stuff out. I can bring overground power cables instead of running everything underground. Because if you come over here and look underground, it's a mess. It's a mess. There's stuff running everywhere in no particular direction, because all of this was just added as we go. this is going to be more planned, so we can have neater underground, which then if we want to come in and add metro later, makes it much easier because it's easier to get around all the pipes and wires and that. And the other reason we want to use the above ground, I know earlier I said I don't like to use them, but the main reason to use them is because if you look at an electrical substation, okay, this one doesn't say, we got to go to an active one. Let's go over here. You. So if you look, so it gives you total wattage of all connected buildings. Okay, so 3.7 megawatts of a potential 250. So the most power that this is supposed to handle is 250 megawatts. So if it was running everything connected, it would be running at 148% capacity. The estimated consumption, because basically it'll split if buildings are attached to multiple ones, the system automatically tries to balance the load, but you can select like this is a higher priority, I want energy pulled off of here or not. So the estimated load is 1.6 megawatts. So it's only running at 66% capacity. However, if you look at the lines, so like the underground lines, so the highest one only provides 1.45 megawatts. We're already over 1.45 megawatts, and that's only running this thing at 66% capacity. So we're already stressing the system. We're already drawing more power through those lines than they're supposed to have. And that can lead to causing brownouts and stuff like that throughout here. If you go above ground, the biggest one is 2.35 megawatts. So still not the full 250, but 2.35 versus 1.45. So it's almost a full megawatt in difference. And again, all this stuff there's going to be so many people, so many things in here. This is going to be pulling so much power. If you look at, let's go back and look at, so this guy, so he pull his circuit breaker is basically a megawatt, right? Is that right? 1030 kilowatts. You add that up amongst all these different guys. Yeah, so again, it's just going to be drawing tons and tons and tons of power. So if I put, let's just put one substation in here. Okay, we'll just him. Of course, it's not going to show me if he's not built. I can't see what his. He would be massively overloaded. We'll just put it that way. So we want to run in above ground lines if we can. One, it keeps the underground clean. Two, it provides us more power so we can run these things better. And then all our heating, sewer, water, and everything, we'll be able to run them much neater lines than what we've got over here. So I'll be able to have all of my wells set up with the pumps, and then all the water lines will just run straight out, parallel, side by side to each other, and then branch off as they need to, you know, a water substation here, another one over here, one over here, one over here, so on and so forth. And so that'll be a lot neater when we bring our heating. So right now, tentatively, this is where the heating plants are going to be. They may need to move this way a little bit. I mean, what's our... So from him to here, 980 meters. So we could... So to get to this other side, we're going to have to put in heat pumps, which means we're going to have heat loss on that side. The heat exchangers for here are all going to go basically right in here. And then that's probably not going to be far enough to cover that. Because if you look, if we go back into heating and we pull up underground piping, just because it makes it easier, we can go right there. That's it, 951 meters, basically. So over here, we can go a little bit farther on the diagonal, which we're going to, so basically about 1,000 meters. I don't think if we put a heat exchanger here that it's going to catch these buildings. So again, we'd have to have heat pumps running for this, for all of this over here, unless we put in other heating plants somewhere else around here. But that's also part of the reason why I want to start building this area and this area, and then we'll go from there and figure out how we have to, if we have to adjust where the location of the heating plants, or if we were going to eventually have to add others. This whole city is not going to come up and running all at once. Like I said, we need about 10,000 people. And if you look here, so each one of these is 500 people. All right, so again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, wait, no, those are the twos. So we've got 7 of those, so that's 3,500 people. This guy is, I think, 300 people. We'll call it 300 people for right now. So at 21, 24, 27, 3,000, 3,300, 3,400, or 3,600 people, and then each one of these is 200, so 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52. So this is 5,400 people right here. That's almost what we need to run the steel. Just in this one square right here. That doesn't count what's going over here, what's going to go over here, what's going to go back here. All said and done with, this city center here, like if it's laid out, is probably going to hold somewhere around 25,000 people. Now, if we packed it in a lot tighter, we could probably push that to maybe 40,000, but I don't think we're going to do that right now. We're just going to leave it like this. But that's where I'm going to leave this episode. I'm going to work on getting this stuff all planned out, and we'll come back and we'll start laying in all these buildings, start working on the tram system, getting all that. Hopefully by then our rail builders will have come in and gotten most of this done, and our road crews will get most of these roads put in and everything. And we'll see where we're at. Right now, financially, you can see we're doing good, but that's because we're not building. Our most expensive thing we have to bring in is steel. And when we start bringing in steel, our money's going to drop real quickly. Especially since I'm also looking at upgrading some of our vehicles. Because if we look at buy new vehicles, let's go with our open holes. Where are we at? Alphabet's hard. Total capacity. We have these guys now. They hold 27,000 tons of steel. They cost 25,000 each. If you compare those to what we currently have, oh, look, everybody's going out for gravel, asphalt, something. The guys we currently have, they can hold 13,000. So this can hold twice as much as any of the ones that we currently have. But this is 24 open holes in there. So if I replace 24 open holes with this, that's 300,000 rubles right there. Is that right? Is my math right? No, that's 600,000 rubles just to replace those guys. Now, these guys we don't need to replace because they're perfectly fine for hauling that stuff around. But that doesn't count. Now we look at covered hulls. Now we've got this new guy that holds 13 tons of crops compared to the 10 tons of crops of the ones we're using right now over in the farm and over here. So maybe we upgrade, maybe we don't. concrete mixers, this guy holds 13 tons versus what we're rolling right now is 8 tons, right? Is that the guy we've got? Okay, he holds 12. The original ones we have, which we still have some left over, hold 10. He holds 8, but he travels at 87 kilometers an hour versus this guy, he does 80, but the old ones only do 70. So, much faster. Where are we? Oh, dumpers. New dumper, 14 tons of gravel at 92 kilometers. Oh, I didn't want to buy him. Whoops. Compared to these guys, yeah, they're great. They hold 24 tons, but they only move 35 kilometers. So this guy moves over twice as fast. You're approaching 3 times as fast and hauls a little over half. So we want to upgrade all of this stuff. So our money is going to start dropping really fast. But like I said, that's kind of where we're going to leave this episode. We're already over the hour mark, but I really wanted to go through the planning of that one city. So we'll catch you all later. Bye.